Hi guys, welcome to Mixed Training Solutions. I am Yanamala Suresh. Today we are going to discuss M-Phases Specific Training Aptitude Part. First question. Based on past experience, the probability of an appliance having a blown fuse is 6%. So they had given that probability of blown fuse which is equal to 6%. And the probability of it having a broken wire is 4%. So they had given regarding wire also, that is probability is 4%. Also 1% of the appliances to be repaired come in with both a blown fuse and a broken wire. So they had given that probability of F intersection W. So where intersection represents and. Now the question they are asking is, what is the probability that an appliance has either of the problems or both? So it has to consist either blown fuse or broken wire. Okay, so we know that probability of F union W is given by probability of F plus probability of W minus probability of F intersection W. So for your reference, intersection represents and, union represents or means either or. So what is P of F? They had given 6% and P of W 4% minus 1%. So very simple thing. So 6 plus 4 is 10, 10 minus 1 equal to 9, 9% is the answer. But whereas the options it consists of decimals. So 9% can be written as 9 divided by 100, which is equal to 0.09. So 0.09 is the correct answer. Next one. A manager decides to form a team of 3 employees. Okay. In how many ways can he form a team if he has a total of 10 employees? So this question comes under combinations. Now what is the data they had given? Out of 10 employees, you need to form a team of 3 employees. In how many ways you can do it? It comes under the combination as I said. So we need to go ahead with the selection. So out of 10 people, I need to select only 3 people to form a team. That's it, 10C3. So directly they had given. Clear? Next one guys. What least number must be added to 4000 in order to obtain a number exactly divisible by 17? See, one way of solving is you just take the first option and add it to 4000. So I'm getting 4005. Whether 4005 is divided by 17 or not, I need to check it. See, if it is, luckily if you got fourth option is correct, then takes long time. You have to check first option, you have to check second option, as well as you have to check third option. Waste of time. So what best you can do so that you will get the answer just like that means very simple. So whatever the number they had given and whatever the divisor they had given, just to divide. Now 17 tables, 17 2s are 34, 6 60, 17 3s are 51, 90, 17 5s are 85. So I got 5 as reminder. Now required number is given by required number equal to 17 minus 5. You have to subtract, which is equal to 12. I mean to say that you need to add 12 to 4000 so that the entire number is divisible by 17. So the correct answer is second option. Sir, I got 5 remainder. No sir. So can I say 5 is the answer? No, it's a trap. Why? Because you are getting 5 extra. So you have to remove that 5. So it is not about subtraction in the question. It's about addition in the question. Because of that only I have to add 12 so that the value is exactly divisible by 17. Clear? If the same question they had given, instead of addition they had given subtraction, then the answer is first option. So you have to subtract 5 so that the number is exactly divisible by 17. Next one guys. The sum of two numbers is 528. Okay, let us assume that x and y are two numbers. So x plus y equal to 528, that is what they had given. Next, their HCF is 33. Okay, so HCF equal to 33. Find the number of pairs of numbers that satisfy the given condition. So HCF is 33 is nothing but, see, definitely x is a multiple of 33 as well as y is also a multiple of 33. I mean to say that we can write it as 33x plus 33y should be equal to 528. Since it is a multiple of 33, definitely we can write it as like this. So if I had taken 33 common, then x plus y equal to 528. Now x plus y equal to 528 divided by 33. 11 table. 11 4s are 11 8s are 11 3s are 3 1s are 3 16s are. So sum of two numbers equal to 16. Sum of two numbers equal to 16. So we have to go ahead with the suitable pairs. See, I can take x value as 1 and I can take y value as 15. Now sum of two numbers equal to 16, no. So, and 1 and 15 there is no common value. So this is the first correct pair. Next one, I can take 2 and I can take 14. Now let's see here what will happen. Now if I had taken 2 and 14, sum equal to 16 is absolutely correct. But I can take 2 common. So obviously this is not the correct pair. Next, 3 and 13. Yes, nothing is common. So this is another second correct pair. Next, if I had taken 4. Now 4 and 12. Again I can take 4 common. So the 4 also not possible. Next, I can go ahead with 5. 5 and 11. Nothing is common. So this is also the third correct pair. Next, if I had taken 6 comma 10, again 2 is common. I should not take 6 comma 10. Next, 7 comma 9. Yes, this is fourth correct pair. It's satisfied. Next, 8 comma 8. That is pakka wrong. There is no, you should not take 8 comma 8. Why? Because I can take 8 common. Next, 9 comma 7. It will keep on repeating like this. 9 comma 7, 11 comma 5, 13 comma 3, 14 comma 2, 15 comma 1. It will repeat. So exactly how many pairs are there here? Exactly 4 pairs. Clear? See why I should not consider 2 comma 14, because see here 2 is common. If 2 is common, I should not say 33 is the HCF of those two numbers. It is nothing but 66. I can say 66 is the HCF of those two numbers. No, there should not be any common. I mean to say that precisely x comma y are co-primes. Co-primes are nothing but those HCF equal to 1. Always 1. So this is the correct way of solving this particular question. See, instead of number of pairs, they had asked the number of order pairs. See, order pairs in the sense 1 comma 15 is there, no. So this is one order. And the second one is 15 comma 1. This is second order. So here we got 4 pairs, right? So number, if the question they are asking for number of ordered pairs, it will be 8 as answer regarding ordered pairs. So far they haven't asked any question regarding ordered pairs. If they could have asked in the examination, make sure that 8 is the correct answer. But if the question they are asking for pairs only, no, number of pairs only, no, so the correct answer is only 4 pairs. Next one, guys. Yes. A research laboratory conducts various experiments. The probability of occurrence of an event in one trial of an experiment is 0.3. Okay. So they had given that one trial probability equal to 0.3. Done. 3 independent trials. So how many they did? 3 independent trials of an experiment are performed. Find the probability that the event happens at least once. So at least once, the meaning of at least once means minimum 1 or 2 or 3. Okay, so that is the way we need to solve this problem. See, what best we can do is, in my previous videos regarding probability, I had given a shortcut. So probability of at least is given by, at least 1 is given by 1 minus probability of none. Simple strategy. Okay. This is the shortcut formula to find out at least. Very important, guys. Very important one. Now, therefore, now the question they are asking for probability of at least once, right? So required probability equal to 1 minus probability of none. See, probability of happening is 0.3. Probability of not happening. I mean to say that P of T dash equal to 1 minus 0.3, which is equal to 0.7. So writing directly 0.7. So this event performed how many times? 3 times, isn't it? So Q 10. So 0.7 into 0.7 into 0.7 like that. So 1 minus 0.343. So if I gonna subtract from 1 0.0343, so the answer will be 0.657. So option 4. 10. Very simple thing, guys. So here the thing is, you have to remember in such a way that probability of at least once equal to 1 minus P of none. Sir, can I go ahead with the procedure, sir? Yes, you can go ahead with the procedure. So the procedure is given by like this. I mean to say the 3 independent trials, right? So happening, first is happening. So at least once means, so P of T dash, P of T dash plus P of T, P of T, P of T dash plus P of T, P of T and P of T. So in this way you can do, you'll get the definitely correct answer. Okay, so you choose the best one. So I hope this is the best methodology. See, instead of doing this lengthy thing, waste of time. So 1 minus P of none, that will be the best way to solve this kind of problems. Remember this one, guys. Anyhow, this is also the correct methodology, but takes some time. Next one, guys. What are the values of x and y in 72x, 23y for it to be perfectly divisible by 88? Okay. See, one way of solving is you just randomly substitute the values of a, b, c, d here. Okay. So that we can find out whether the number is divisible by 88 or not. Okay. So here I can't substitute first option. Why? Because last digit is 5. See, they had given even number. Definitely last digit should be even number. So I can eliminate first option as well as second option. Or both are wrong. Correct. It might be third option or it might be fourth option. See, directly I'm not interested to go ahead with 88 table. Okay. So what best I can do is I'm gonna split it this one in this way. 8 into 11. So 8 into 11 equal to 88. I mean to say that definitely that number is divisible by 8 as well as 11. Okay. Now let me substitute third option. I mean to say that 7, 2, 7, 2, 3, 2. Okay. Now I need to check it whether this number is divisible by 8 or not. Now what is the condition for 8? The shortcut is last 3 digits are divisible by 8. 8 table. 8 ones are 8 twos are 16, 8 nines are 72. Yes, it is divisible by 8. Past 8. Divisible by 8 is 10. Next, divisibility rule of 11. See, divisibility rule of 11 is given by sum of alternate digits minus sum of remaining digits. I mean 7 plus 3 minus remaining digits 2 plus 2 plus 2. So here 17 minus 6, which is equal to 11. Yes. So if you got sum as final sum as 0 or 11, definitely it is divisible by 11. So clearly 7, 2 is the correct answer. And it is divisible by 8 as well as 11. So if you want to check it by using the manual way, I mean to say that the procedure way, 727,232 divided by 88. You have to go ahead with the long division method, so that finally there won't be any remainder. So this way also correct. Okay. Next one, guys. What is the value of square of 7 1 by 2 when it is expressed as a mixed fraction? So the question they are asking is 7 1 by 2 whole square. Okay. Now look at here. 90% of the students, what they're gonna do, 7 1 by 2 whole square is nothing but 7 square is 49. 1 by 2 whole square is 1 by 4. They're gonna mark first option, which is pakka wrong. Seriously, that is absolutely wrong. You should not do like this actually. Individually you should not do. This is against the rules of the squaring of the mixed fraction. Okay. Now what you have to do exactly is very simple thing. This 7 1 by 2 is there. No, convert this mixed fraction into improper fraction. So 7 1 by 2 is nothing but 2 7s are 14. 14 plus 1 15. 15 by 2 whole square. Now 15 by 2 whole square is nothing but 225 divided by 4. Now 225 divided by 4 we need to write in terms of mixed fraction. 4 table, 4 5s are 20, 25, 4 6 are 24. Now remainder equal to 1. So this can be written as 56. 1 by 4 is the absolute correct answer. careful guys, when the question they're asking for these kind of things, make sure that you have to do it like this only. If you do starting itself 7 square is 49, 1 by 2 whole square is 1 by 4, gone there itself, and it's a trap. First option they had given is trap. Next one, the value of log base 3 of log base 2 of 512. So it's a logarithmic expression actually. Now look at here, 512 can be written as in terms of 2 powers. Sir, why I have to write in terms of 2 powers only? Why can't some other value? See, why? Because they had given base 2, no? Because of that only we have to write in terms of 2 powers. So 512 in terms of 2 powers. 2 table, 2 2s are 4, 2 5s are 2 6s are. 2 table, 2 1s are 2 2s are 2 8s are. 2 6s are 2 4s are. 2 3s are 2 2s are. 2 16s are. 2 8s are. 2 4s are. 2 2s are. Totally how many 2s are there? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. I mean to say that 512 can be written as 2 power 9. So log base 3 log base 2 2 power 9. Now we know already that log a power m base a, which is equal to m. So this entire expression can be written as simply 9. I mean to say that log 9 base 3. Again 9 in terms of 3 powers. So log 3 square base 3. So use the same strategy. Log a power m base a is given by m. I mean to say that 2. So 2 is the correct answer. Simple thing. So you have to must and should know the logarithmic expressions as well as the formula. Next one guys. The correct value of, so they had given another logarithmic expression, log 125 base 5 minus log 16 base 2. Now 125 can be written as in terms of 5 powers, that is log 5 cube divided base 5 minus log 16 in terms of 2 powers. 2 power 4 base 2. Now this can be written as, do you remember the formula previously we have discussed? No, I mean to say that log a power m base a, which is equal to m. So this is the standard form regarding these kind of questions. So 3 minus 4, which is equal to minus 1. Done. Very simple thing. Next one guys. Find the greatest number that divides 42, 90 and 182 so as to leave the same remainder in each case. See, one way of solving is you can take the first option and divide each and every expression, so you have to get the same remainder. Next, I mean if you are not at all getting the same remainder, then you have to go ahead with the next option 4. But here the question they are asking for greatest number, no. So anyhow I can divide by 2, each and every number is divisible. So finally I am getting a remainder as 0, same remainder only. But that is not the greatest number actually. So there are another 3 options are there, you have to check it, okay. So instead of checking each and everything, what best I can do is, there is a logic behind regarding this kind of question. The thing is, if you want to know the first number, let us assume that this is x, y, z. So that is given by, we need to find the HCF of modulus of x minus y, comma modulus of y minus z, comma modulus of z minus x. So this is the way to find out. So here HCF of 42 minus 90, comma 90 minus 182, comma 182 minus 42. Done. So HCF of, so 42 minus 90 is nothing but 48. So minus of, okay, let me write step by step. Minus 48, so that it will be very comfortable. Yeah, 90 minus 182. So 90 minus 182 or 182 minus 90, that is nothing but minus 92. Comma 182 minus 142, that is nothing but 140. Done. Plus 140. So HCF of 48, comma 92, 140. Done. So I need to find the HCF of among these three numbers. See what number I can take common so that I am getting the nothing else has to be common. I mean to say that in 48, 92 and 140, what number I can take common? I can take 4 common. So if I had taken 4 common, 4 ones are 4, 4 twos are 8. 4 twos are 8, 4 threes are 12. 4 ones are 4 threes are 12, 4 fives are 20. So among 12, 23 and 35, can I take any number common? No, nothing I can take common. So 4 is the HCF. Done. This is the way to solve this problem. So the highest number that divides 42, 90 and 182, which I am getting the same remainder, is 4 is the correct answer. This is the way to solve this kind of problem. Next one, guys. What is the greatest possible power of 5 that divides 30 factorial exactly? Now look at here. Let's see the procedure. Okay, I'm not at all completely solving the procedure. I'm just giving a hint regarding the procedure after that shortcut. Now 30 factorial, right? What is the expansion of 30 factorial? 30 into 29 into 28 into and so on into 3 into 2 into 1. So the question they're asking is powers of 5. See, if you take any factorial expansion, 2 powers are maximum when compared to 5 powers. So here, in order to get 5 powers, you have to consider only the multiples of 5 only. That is 30 into 25 into 20 into 15 into 10 into 5 into some constant. I mean the remaining numbers actually. So here you need to convert this entire thing. Okay, let me solve this one. So here I am getting 1 5. Yes. Here I am getting 2 5s. That means we say that 5 square, 2 5s. And here I am getting only 1 5. Here also I am getting 1 5. And here also I am getting 1 5. Here also I am getting 1 5. So totally how many 5s are there? Look at here, 1 plus 2, 3, 3 plus 1, 4, 5, 6, 7. So totally I can get only 7 values, I mean 5 power 7. So only 7 5s are possibility is there. See, this 30 factorial is fine. I can manage here. This is the way. But what if the question they had even 100 factorial or 200 factorial? It becomes complex, right? So for that only we have a shortcut is there. That is nothing but just divide by 5. 30 factorial divided by 5. So 5 6 are 30. Now 6 is greater than 5. Again divide by 5. 5 ones are 5. See, you are getting 5 1 as remainder. Forget about that remainder. Concentrate only on the value only. Quotient only. So number of zeros, I mean to say that powers of 5, that is given by 6 plus 1, which is equal to 7. That's it. Even though I did procedure, I got the same value as 7. And this is the shortcut. I am getting the same answer as 7. So my suggestion is go ahead with this one. So this is the easiest way. Sir, what if the question they are asking for number of zeros, sir? Same procedure. See, number of zeros are greatest possible power of 5. Both are same only. In the expansion of 30 factorial, I am getting the same value only. Next one, guys. Yes, permutations. The number of 6-digit numbers that can be formed from 0, 1, 5, 6, 7 and 8 in which the first digit is not 0. So what is the question they are asking? They are asking for 6-digit numbers. So if the question they are asking for 6-digit numbers, just draw 6 blanks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Done. Now the condition they had given is first digit is not 0. So first digit is not 0. What are the possibilities are there? It might be 1 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8. So how many possibilities are there? 5 possibilities are there. Now the second blank. Now since the question they had given like this, they haven't mentioned that with repetition or without repetition. See, actually by default we have to go ahead with repetition if they haven't anything mentioned. But in this case the options are in a way that they had given without repetition. Here you may have a question. Sir, how we get to know that whether the options are with repetition or without repetition? Now how many digits they had given? Totally they had given 6 digits. And the question they are asking for 6-digit numbers. What is 6 power 6? See, 6 power 6 square is 36. 36 into 36, 1296. I mean to say that 6 power 4 is 1296. But here there is no such value called 1296. So 1296 into 36. That should be again a huge value. So that option is not there. So this question comes under without repetition. Now one number is filled. How many numbers are remaining? 4 numbers are remaining including 0. So totally how many numbers are there? 5 numbers. Next blank. 4 numbers. Next blank. 3 numbers. Next one. 2 numbers. Next one. Only one number. So this can be written as 5 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So which is equal to 600. First option. Careful guys. But whereas by default we have to go ahead with, if they haven't mentioned anything, means with repetition only. Next one. If the difference of two numbers is 8. Okay. So they had given that x minus y equal to 8. The difference of their squares is 160. So x square minus y square equal to 160. Then the numbers are, okay, see what is x square minus y square? I mean to say that a square minus b square formula, x plus y into x minus y, which is equal to 160. We know already x minus y value, that is 8. So x plus y into 8 equal to 160. So x plus y equal to 160 divided by 8, which is equal to 20. Done. So sum of two numbers equal to 20. That is first equation. Let us assume that. And second equation, sum of products or difference of two numbers equal to 8. Now if I gonna add these two equations, I'm gonna get x value as 8 plus 20 divided by 2. That is nothing but 28 divided by 2, which is equal to 14. Done. Now what about y value? Y value is given by 20 minus 14, which is equal to 6. So the required numbers are 6, 14 or 14, 6. You may have a doubt. Sir, x value is confirmed 14, no sir. Y value is confirmed 6, no sir. So that I can mark 14, 6 is the correct answer, no sir. That option is not there. I can mark none of the above, no sir. No, it's not like that. See, difference between two numbers equal to 8 means I can take y minus x equal to 8. Isn't it? So that is also possibility is there. So here the numbers are only two numbers. One is 6, another one is 14. Next one guys. Now this question comes under logarithms as well as functions. Nice. If f of x equal to 3x plus 5, g of x equal to log x base 5 and g of f of x equal to 4 for all values of f of x, then what is the value of x? Oh my god, such a complicated one. Okay. Now they had given the condition g of f of x equal to 4. Write that condition first. So g of f of x equal to 4. Now what is f of x? 3x plus 5. So g of 3x plus 5, which is equal to 4. Now what is g of x? Log x base 5. Correct? No. So g of 3x plus 5 log 3x plus 5 base 5, which is equal to 4. Now we know already, that is log a base b equal to c, then a equal to b power c. We will apply that logic here. So 3x plus 5 should be equal to 5 power 4. That implies 3x equal to 625 minus 5. That equal to 620 here. Therefore x equal to 620 divided by 3. That's it. Careful guys. Very simple question. So this is the hint. So the thing is log a base b equal to c. Then we can write a equal to b power c. So thank you all. Have a great day. Thank you all.